Hello guys and welcome to the video. So today I'm going to talk to you about a topic which is, should you compete? Should you, and this, we're talking bodybuilding, we're talking physique, we're talking bikini, whatever. You know, we're just talking about competitive physique sport, okay? So, I quite often get this question, people are saying, hey, I'm thinking about competing, you've done it before, what do you think I should do? And usually my response varies, but quite often the overriding feeling is you should kind of already know the answer to that question. Quite often when we ask people questions, we're already just waiting for the answer we want to hear just so we can confirm that. You know, if you want pizza, you kind of start suggesting like, I haven't had pizza in a while, I really fancy pizza, what do you think? And they're like, maybe you should have pizza. I'm like, yeah, let's have pizza, you know? You're just kind of waiting for them to give you permission to confirm something that you already want. So usually when people ask them that question, they're already thinking about it and they already do want to do it. I'm also going to go for a few pros and cons now. So pro number one, you may love it. You know, it might be everything that you think it's going to be. It might really float your boat. It might give your training a new sense of purpose when you're training, and it might be for you. Number two, it gives you a tangible goal to work towards. You know, when you've got a date in mind, you know, you're not slack on your nutrition, you're not slack on your training. You're accountable to yourself because you know that when you got to step on stage, you want to look good and you want to be competitive. So you've got a very, very solid goal to work towards. Number three, you'll learn a lot about yourself. Like both mentally and physically. You'll learn a lot about your body and how it responds to certain things. You'll also see what type of mental capacity you have, like how you can pursue through some of the lower days when you're not feeling so good and you're feeling run down. You'll really learn an incredible amount about yourself, which is very, very valuable. Another thing, if you're a personal trainer, you can resonate with your clients a lot about fat loss. A lot of my clients have said to me in the past, they said, Elliot, you've never been fat before, you don't understand what it's like. But when you can turn around and say, hey, look, I've lost 15 kilos, I know what it's like, you know, and I've gotten down to this certain amount of body fat where I've pushed my body through going through cardio, diet, all of that. I know how you feel, and you can actually resonate with them, and then you have that respect for them. I don't think anyone should really put themselves in a position where they call themselves body transformation coaches or do body transformations when they haven't done it and they can't get in shape themselves. Another story for another day, but I got a huge amount of respect from people who worked with me once I competed. And lastly, you're a lot more appealing on social media. This might be something that is good for you, this might be something you don't really care about, but you are, you know, if you've got abs, if you're in shape, you know, you are just generally a lot more appealing, especially if you're a personal trainer or an online coach. This can be quite valuable. People are more interested in you. I know this sounds bad, but I'm talking very generally here, but they are generally more interested in you when you are in shape, not when you're fluffy off season, okay? And that's just the truth. On to the cons now. So all goods have to have some bads. You may hate it. You might absolutely despise it. I know a lot of people who have gone on stage, and I'm glad they've had that experience. They've realized, this isn't for me, you know, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. But at least you know, so you might hate it. That's number one. Number two, it can get quite expensive, okay, between supplementation, additional supplementation, nutrition, gym membership, buying your card to be a member for one of the organizations, posing trunks, bikini, all of that if you're a girl, females with hair, makeup, hotel, entry for the show, it can get very expensive. Number three, it requires a lot of your time and energy, you know, like training, cardio, prepping meals, posing, that all takes a lot of time, especially towards the back end. Energy as well will gradually decrease as you go throughout your prep, so it does take a lot, and it's a very, very selfish sport. It's all very much about you. I must get my meals, I must get my training in, I must get this for me, I must get my sleep, I must get, you know, it's a very me sport. So if you've got family members that who kind of rely on you, or you have children, or you have a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend, especially if they don't really understand the process, it can look very selfish from the outside, because it is, but hopefully you'll be able to find people who understand it, and also be very self-aware. So if you are doing this, be very self-aware that, you know what, it is a selfish sport, so you need to make sure that you aren't being like a bit of a jerk and a bit of a, you know, not a nice guy to be around when you're prepping, because it is very selfish. But I almost understand why you're being like this, because it's a tough process, but it all comes down to self-awareness as well. Number four, it can be unhealthy, both physically and mentally, which is funny because if you look like the epitome of health and fitness when you're in shape and you compete, but in fact that's probably when you're the most unhealthy, okay? All of your like hormones and stuff are pretty much going to take a little bit of a hit as you come towards the back end of your prep. And mental health is a huge one that I'm going to touch on as well. You know, a lot of people tie their self-worth to their placing, to their appearance. Some people can never accept what they look like in the off season because of how good they looked on stage. Also, how much attention you get when you are competing. Everyone seems to ask you about how's your prep, how's your body, and all of a sudden when you don't anymore, people don't ask you so much. People really do tie their self-worth and their their mental well-being is all around how they look and how in shape they are. So this can be a very, very unhealthy sport as well. And lastly, there's actually no guarantee that you'll do well. At the end of the day, it's down to the judges who are sat there looking at you. You know, it's not like if you're in football, you score more goals, you win the game, you know? If you're racing 100 meters, if you know your time is about 10 seconds, then you know you're probably gonna beat this X, Y, and Z because you're over the line first. In this sport, it's so subjective. The judges might not even look at you, especially at a lower level when there's like 25 people on stage. The judges might even look past you and might not even see you. So it's very subjective and there's no guarantee that you'll do well. And that can be quite a disadvantage. So those are the 5 pros and the 5 cons. The main point here, guys, is if you want to try it, try it. You already know the answer, but if you don't like it, don't do it. Don't feel inclined to do it. You know, if you are within this world and you think that's the only route, you can do photo shoots, you can do powerlifting, you can do CrossFit, you can just carry on training the way you want to, you know, you can just train and eat, you know, you don't have to do anything competitive and you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. So I hope that video helps you guys. If you're ever considering competing, maybe it gave you a little bit of insight on what you should do. So thank you for watching, see you very soon.